Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here, of course, here at Binance Coin, seeing if this is going to continue to break its most recent resistance level, or if it's going to, kind of fail and burn. I don't know, however you want to put it. Honestly, I think it's looking pretty good, so I want to cover it because it's something I've had my eye on for a little while. We're obviously still taking profits from our very recent BNB trade from a couple weeks ago. We just hit our fourth profit target, but I think it might be advantageous to consider another position. That's what I'm thinking. We'll take a look at that and much more. If you are new to the channel though, please note that I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people to trade. I have a trading community, academy, and signal group. Link in the description below if you want to become a part of that. There's over 200 active day traders, swing traders, and the like, and they're all doing phenomenal. And majority of what they're using is Bitget exchange too. So greatly appreciate that because of course it absolutely helps in the general sense of the fact that we're all learning and growing together, but we're also benefiting from the challenges that they provide. In other words, they have $10,000 price pool challenges monthly where we actually allow for you to take profits, essentially additional profits based on trading volume and profit and loss ratio. Then of course the top 4 volume holders, which these 4 here of course are going to be randomly selected, of course 4 out of 4, so they're each going to get $1,000 USD or USDT. So it's really cool to be able to have that as an option. I love having this choice for my community. I don't participate in it, of course, just because I think that would be kind of unfair. I want to make sure that profits go to my members. If you want to be part of that, again, register with the link in the description below. If you're in the United States, make sure you choose other as far as the the actual name is concerned, or for the country rather. Okay, so again, just make sure you check that out. And if you do want to be part of this and you're already registered with with Bitget, feel free to message me. I can add you to the list and you can start benefiting from that. All right, so here's where we're at with BNB and kind of help trying to explain the reasons why this will likely take off or continue further. First of all, a lot of it has to do with the previous resistance and support levels. So we can kind of see here that we've got basically a triple bottom, which is an interesting thing. It does happen sometimes, but you pretty much got a triple bottom, for lack of better terms, where the price action has stuck with itself within this range and hasn't gone any lower. And if you compare that, just say for example, just say you compare that with Bitcoin, it doesn't have the exact same behavior. Okay, so in other words, it's looking pretty darn good in the sense of the fact that it's actually, I don't know, it just looks tremendously better. It's a lot more consistent than Bitcoin, and in that sense too as well, it's also performing better than Bitcoin, the overall sense of things as well. Just the way that it recovers here, fantastic. Furthermore though, what I also want to highlight outside of just the triple bottom is mostly the fact that there's a strong resistance level that we're soon to break, and we could very well see some type of squeeze to push through that. Okay, so what we're looking at here is essentially this guy right here at $298. Okay, so we've seen the price hit, 4 days in a row back in September, 2 days roughly in a row in October, and then again a retest here today. So again, it's similar to a cup and handle type of pattern where you get like a retest of an area and it comes up, usually it comes up a little bit slower. This one got hit kind of hard based on what happened in the market in early October for Bitcoin. But if you look right now, Bitcoin is stabilizing and BNB is starting to take off. So this is really nice to be able to see this here. So to me, I feel like we're going to have, an exaggerated cup and handle pattern, basically double/triple bottom, right? And essentially be able to see that breakout happen soon. It looks like it's trying right now to do that. In fact, we just hit our 4th profit target for 98%. If you see this is coming through here right now, 98%, again, 16 days. So, you can double your return on investment in 16 days. That's a pretty strong return, isn't it? A lot of folks with traditional markets are not even getting close to that. So just keep in mind, Bitcoin and just say general cryptocurrency has a tremendous, phenomenal potential. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of summarize here. So obviously we can see that things are going well right now. But is it going to just blast through that here today? Because we're already up almost 4 or 5% on the day. We want to find that out. So we're going to look at some exhaustive potential states there and see if there's a potential for pullback. Because to me, an average position right at 290, 295 would be obviously better than 298. But we want to make sure if we get in, is it going to continue, right? So taking a look at the RSI on the daily, it is getting close to its exhaustive state. Not to say that it couldn't still go above that, because BNB has a tendency of becoming over-exhaustive and doing just fine. But on the same accord, do we really want that? I would say in short, we don't. We want the price action to come down a little bit first and then increase first. Obviously, we don't always get what we want, but that would be a nice likely potential, right? So we take a look here, of course, we're looking at the MACD. We can see that it is increasing and doing really, really well. That's really just telling us that we're probably going to likely continue higher. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen, because when we're hitting a resistance level such as 70 in the RSI and a previous resistance level too, it would make sense that we actually get our cup and handle pattern now versus later. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a rejection today. Price comes back down to bounce off the most recent key Fibonacci retracement level, about 290, and then continues higher. So to me, if I were to take entry right now, I would consider taking entry right now, and then of course a second entry down closer to 290. Again, everyone has different strategies, but I love having two entry targets to ensure that you get filled if in fact the price rejects off of resistance. Let's take a look at some moving averages and see. This is another beautiful thing too. We're tentatively, again, today hasn't closed yet, but it's likely to close above the 200-day simple moving average. Now BNB hasn't been over the 200-day simple moving average since January of 2020, right? Sorry, 2022 rather. That was roughly 10, 11 months ago, depending on how you look at it. So again, that's pretty substantial turnaround, if you will, because a lot of coins right now are not even close to coming to their 200-day simple moving average, and BNB is there already. So that really implies it's done very well in the last 200 days compared to other coins that have been struggling significantly, including Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's at what, 25,000 for its 200-day simple moving average? We're well away from that, whereas here we have potential for a golden cross coming up in the inevitable foreseeable future, depending on how you want to state it, right? So definitely looking pretty good in that sense. All right, so again, can't speak highly enough of BNB for the moment. Definitely looking great, but we want to see if this is going to sustain. So I'm willing to expect that we're overextended on the 4-hour, which we are. So if you look at what happened recently when the RSI bounced up and essentially hit that resistance level, the initial resistance at 289, it got rejected pretty hard, came back to retest, and inevitably broke through. But you can see that the RSI was overextended and it started to come back down. Okay, so hypothetically, even though we are having a MACD convergence here once more, there is a probability, I feel, that the price action will not go dramatically higher in the immediate future. I think we might see a pullback to once again fulfill that handle pattern. Again, these are all things I pretty much would like to see. Is it a likelihood? Absolutely, but again, when coins start like this start to take off, they really start to create that momentum and they continue to break. Okay, so we're going to just pay attention to this, of course, and kind of see how it works. But as you can see here, and this is a standard thing, Bitcoin did the same thing as well. If you see the 20-day simple moving average on the 4-hour, it commonly works as a support level in momentous bullish trends, at least short-term bullish trends, which we're seeing right now. But we're also seeing, too, a rejection at this level here, which is no surprise. 298 is going to be a pretty strong resistance, I think, initially, because it has done so in the past. But will it break on this push? That is the question we still have yet to answer. All right, so let's take a look at some other things here as well on the 4-hour, such as TD sequential. We're 6 hours into this push, and we can see the last one that I mentioned, which got overextended on the RSI on the 4-hour, hit a 9 on TD sequential, pulled back, and continued higher. Okay, so hypothetically, we're at a 6 right now. We could see 3 more hours of bullish continuation, and then, of course, also potential of price coming down to bounce as well. I'm leaning more towards a rejection at this point and the price continuing lower, just based on the simple fact that there's a lot of profits to be taken here, and it would make a lot of sense for the price to pull back. Okay, so again, I think BNB is in pretty darn good shape here, but on the same accord, is it going to just blast off right now? Well, it's getting close to its exhaustive state, so there's potential, but I think it's less likely. Furthermore, if we can see on the Ichimoku cloud, it's all green lights here to essentially continue to maintain a long position. Okay, so fantastic stuff here. There's really nothing telling us that we want to sell our position, but it wouldn't hurt, of course, to consider taking some profits. Again, if you're not taking profits, you're not going to be profitable. It's one of those funny, redundant statements that absolutely makes perfect sense if you are a swing trader or a day trader. If your HODL portfolio is BNB, that's perfectly fine. Hold on to it for long term. That's all good. Don't listen to this. But if you are considering, taking some profits here soon, it wouldn't be a bad call, because even though we might see a short squeeze and the price shoot up from here, it will likely consolidate at the 298/290 range before it continues to leg up once more. Okay. So again, all in all, I would say BNB has my vote, and I think that it has a strong potential for it to continue higher. All right, so that's pretty much all we have here, I believe. The only thing else I can ask of you is to help maybe consider following me on social media. All the links are in the description below. I'm going to have pretty consistent updates on there and to help you understand what that looks like. Moving forward, I'm going to be providing a lot of giveaways too, so make sure you check that out because I'd be happy to benefit everyone following, not just my community members. All right, thanks again for joining me here. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Take care.